I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up.
Crazy, yeah, welcome to the channel. So I've recorded 10 songs in the MPC standalone so far, and you can go check them out on my YouTube channel. There's a playlist called Songs. What I want to do is walk through a lot of the things that I do for my vocal mixing recording process. And in order to do that, I'm going to look at pretty much just all the aspects of the XL channel strip. All right, so in MPC3, we have this beautiful linear mixer where you can do a lot of the tasks that you need to do, you know, set volume, panning, sends, effects, and your IOs. This is great. It's beautiful. I love the layout. It's very clean and neat. But one of the most efficient things, which I love efficiency, is the XL channel strip. And that gives you the ability to pull out your mixer on the side in the main screen. So you can do a lot of the things you would do in the mixer just from here. And why this is most effective is because no matter what channel you're on, simply by clicking over your tracks, now anything that you do affects that specific track. So I've got this sequence here, the start of a song with a hook on it.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up.
One of the key things is whatever track you're on, this top Q link, as long as you're on the screen setting, which you will be on by default, this top Q link will control your volume.
I've been spending all this time trying to see the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up.
So no matter what track you're on, you can adjust the volume for that track.
I've been spending all this time trying to level.
And then another key thing, navigation. This is always important and something very useful that I use.
This time trying to struggle's not in vain. See, the struggle's not in vain.
Say I'm doing some editing, I'm actually in this screen, right? I can easily navigate and cut things. And then of course you got the basics.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up.
Can mute out the track.
See, the struggle's not in,
or solo it if we have to.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not.
And then you got, you know, you can arm your track, and then you have automation, which I won't get into now. I think I will soon in an upcoming video. So that's the level tab. So if you look right here, you have 4 different tabs. The next one is going to be our effects tab, so we can see all our inserts right here. And this is my vocal chain. It's a bit lazy, so I'm gonna go through and change it up and give you some ideas that I've been using to be a little bit more efficient. So I can press and hold any of these inserts in order to bypass them. Check, check. Or I can use this little icon right here, and I can open up the inserts and I can start removing these, moving them around, or adding new ones. So I'm gonna just go ahead and delete that one. And I'm gonna mute this one. I like this compressor here, but what I'm gonna do is move to the top, and I'm gonna go to Dynamics and select the air channel strip. And I like the air channel strip because it gives me multiple effects processes inside one insert. So I've got EQ, and then I have a gate and compression tab right here. So moving back onto the EQ tab, some things that I like to do is just remove some of my low end on my vocal. Now this isn't a set standard, but it's kind of a rule that I apply for myself because I think it works for my voice, and you know, you got to just use your ear and kind of go with that. So I'll set my frequency to somewhere around 150, nothing higher, because you don't want to remove too much low end and then your voice sounds thin. You don't want your vocal recordings to sound thin. And then, you know, I'll drop the gain down on that and just use the taste, you know. I'm gonna drop it about 5. But then I like to do a little compression for sure.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up.
So I'll bring the threshold down so I see my actual level for my recording right here on the green meter.
I've been spending all this time trying to.
And the compression right there is happening, the yellow meter. So you actually see a signal right now because my mic is always plugged into my MPC. But if I'm quiet, I'm not talking into the mic, you can just hear the recording of the hook that I have right here, and then you'll see the amount of compression. And that'll change depending on where I set the threshold.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain.
Right now it's compressing about 10 dB. All right, so then if you look at like the ratio tab, the higher the ratio, then the more amount of audio that is passing the threshold will be compressed. So to keep it simple, not to do some kind of math that kind of messes with my head, I'm gonna go to like 2:1, like a 2:1 ratio. If the audio is surpassing the threshold about 10 decibels, then instead of what it was compressing about 10, it's gonna compress half of that, 2:1. So for every 10, it's gonna compress 5 decibels.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up.
So that's good. I want to kind of do some light compression here because I do like what is known as serial compression or stacked compression. So I've also got a compressor here. I want to articulate why. I mean, that's something you can look into and something that I'll study a little bit more to be able to articulate it and understand it myself. But just based off of using my ears, I like the sound of using compression in a series, you know, stacked like this versus just like overly compressing the signal on one compressor. To my understanding, if you're not really working the compression as hard on one, delegating that to a couple different compressors, that your signal is going to sound a bit more natural.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers. I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up.
So one thing I forgot to do in the air channel strip with the compression was do a little bit of makeup gain. So if it's compressing 5, then, you know, I'm going to push it up a little bit so the signal can even out.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up. All this pain leads to growth, throw your prayers up.
As I've been cleaning up my vocal chain, I've figured I don't really use this EQ here because I do the most of my EQing on the channel strip, so I'll just delete that. But I just do the cutting right inside the air channel strip because in order to just have my vocal sit in the mix better, right? If I'm just talking, then I could leave the low EQ in, but if it's in the context of a song that has other instruments that are going to share frequency ranges, it's nice to have it sit a little better in the mix that way by cutting some of the lows. Now, if I look at the bottom, I got air reverb here. I don't need this, so I'm going to delete this because I'm going to look at the next tab, which is the send tab. So on the send tab, using a send is the way that I can have a reverb that I share across my entire project that can be used on multiple tracks. So I have a send right here. On send 1, I have reverb level. Check 1.
I've been spending all this time trying to level up. See, the struggle's not in vain, I'ma change it up.
And that applies from track to track, no matter what track I'm on. See, if I'm on the verse track here, you can hear my voice coming in through with the applied reverb. Now, to show you where that reverb is actually sitting, where it's like living, you can easily navigate between your tracks, submixes, sends and returns, and your outputs by holding main. So if I hold main, I see these little tabs here at the bottom: tracks, submixes, returns, outputs. So I'm gonna click returns. And while I'm still holding this, I'm gonna click on return 1. So the send and return deal is they work hand in hand. You put an effect on your return, and then on the send, specifically on the track, is where the reverb is sent. So by controlling the level of the send, you receive the signal of the audio going through the reverb and then back to the track through the send. So I can just add inserts here as well. So I just got a reverb here and with mix at 100 because then the send level controls the dry wet, right? So if I want to navigate easily back, tracks, and go back to my hook, and here we are, and you can hear all the effects now that are on my channel insert along with the send reverb. All right, so the next and the last tab we'll look at of the XL channel strip is the IO tab, right? We got the ins and outs of each individual track. If I look at the audio output, I can decide to send this to the main outs or to a submix. And strategically, I want to send it to a submix. And I'm going to go through, set all my audio tracks, all my vocal tracks to submix 4. Now, if I want to jump to my submix in order to put some effects on the inserts, I can press this little icon right here at the top right corner. And then boom, I'm on the submix section. So I could insert some different effects here, and I might want to compress all the vocals together or add some reverb together, but I could do that. Add some reverb here to the entirety of the vocal submix. It's a technique to use reverb or compression on a submix in order to glue together, right? To make all the tracks that are in that submix sound like they're more cohesive. So I like to be nice and organized. So I'll name my submixes, and there's 2 ways to get to that window. There's a little cog icon right here that you could just click real quick. Or on any track, really, if you need to rename it, you just press and hold, and then it brings you to this window as well. So I will rename this my Vox bus. There's a way of changing the color if you want to color code your audio tracks, or any track really in general. Yeah, so there you go. That's the video. Hopefully these are some helpful tips for you just navigating that XL channel strip. I think it's super efficient to use this. It's just quicker. Everything is right there at your fingertips. So yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out. Do your own research for yourself as far as like some of these techniques, as far as like compression, reverbs, and all that stuff. It's something that I'm exploring just along the way as I'm doing these things and recording these songs. I just like to share what I've learned so far from my experiences. I've learned this stuff in theory before in school. There is a big difference from the theory and retaining that information and then putting it into practice and using your experience to actually be able to share this kind of knowledge. So yeah, go search for yourselves. This is just what I have to contribute as far as doing this in the MPC, because I love doing this thing. I also have a FB group, Facebook group for specifically recording vocals in the MPC standalone. So if you want to share your music, I think that's a place for it. It's kind of a small group. It's kind of quiet over there. So it would be great if we got some more members sharing their music and information and stuff and their process and all that. So if y'all want to support the channel, links in the description, sample packs, sounds, links to gear, helps the channel out. Y'all know how that works by now. I appreciate y'all. Till next time, keep on running with your dreams. God bless. Peace.